We are just, again, like always, checking to make sure that we're showing up live on YouTube before we start talking about things. Mostly because I don't want to repeat myself.
And it looks like we are. Hello, everybody.
Hey
Welcome
guys! Hi everyone! Welcome. It's been a crazy weekend, especially for anybody that is doing the Mingle cache thing. They've done like something about 10 updates since like Friday. So make sure, like, that's one thing. Make sure that you're running the most current version of the application. For, depending on what your settings are, it might not auto update for you. So just visit the Play Store, make sure you're running the most current version of it. And if you're not, then you're going to want to update, because every time they're releasing an update, it's because they're listening to people, they're listening to their crash reports and other things and optimization stuff. So definitely make sure you're running the most recent version. Some people find it's just easier to just delete the old version and install a fresh new one. I kind of do both depending on how my phone reacts or my phones react, because I have it on multiple devices. So definitely want you guys to be doing that. We do have a question right off the bat, so I'll try to answer it, but I'm going to need some more information. Wibble asks, is it normal for more TV time app to crash my phone every 4 to 5 minutes? No, it's not normal. A couple of questions, follow-up questions I want to ask you is, what version of Android are you running on? And how many devices you have connected total in your home? And there's other things like your internet connection and things that can be factors. But if I could know what version of Android you're running, that would be helpful, because generally speaking, the lower the version of Android, the more crappy it's going to run. And that's not just with this application, that's with everything. Just a generalization, but no, that's not normal. I would definitely try updating the application, or or uninstalling it and then reinstalling the new version of the application. I would try doing that first. And what version of Android are you running, Wibble? I'm just curious, because I might, if that is an issue, and if you're seeing that issue on multiple devices, I will make sure that I let the developers know, because they want to know this information. So and they do receive what's called crash reports. Okay, 5.1.1. All right, yeah, I'm running that on a lot of my 5.1 devices. If it crashes, it's like once a day, which is pretty on par with basically all of the other video apps that I run. So no, it should not be crashing every 4 to 5 minutes. That's definitely not typical. But I will take note of that and let them know about that. They're working on bugs and fixing things. I'm running it on running on the same version of Android that you are, Wibble, and I'm not getting those crashing issues. Only 2 out of the 4 devices that I was running it on, then within the last 24 hours have crashed. And that wasn't even a full crash. It was a couldn't connect to the server issue. So that's just my experience. I can't speak for you, but just try to be a little patient with it. There may still be bugs, but like I said, there's so many factors as to why apps crash on phones. Especially maybe you could be running other applications as well, things like that. But no, crashing every 4 to 5 minutes, definitely not normal, and not my personal experience either. But that said, I will take note of that, so that the next time I'm talking to them, I will pass that info on. Just on one device so far, trying on 6.0, another phone just wondering. Okay, yeah, try it on different devices, and it's not just the version of Android you also have to think of, what's the hardware of the phone. Like, for instance, I have an Android 6 that is just, I hate it. It's absolute crap. It's because the phone actually doesn't have the hardware to support the operating system. So this thing will crash all the time on anything I run it on. It will just, this thing just likes to crash. It likes to reboot itself. It likes to do all kinds of crazy things. So those are other things that you wanna consider as well when you're looking at certain things crashing, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really don't like this Android 6. I'm actually probably just gonna get rid of it, because it's more problems for what it's worth. But it paid for itself, so I really can't complain on that one too much. If you guys don't have any other specific questions, of course, please continue to ask questions. I'll get to them when I'm. There's two screens that you have when you're doing a broadcast. There's like the main broadcast screen that basically only Donald and I can see, and then there's the comments on the YouTube page. So sometimes I might miss comments and things like that because I'm looking at other pages or other stuff like that. The phones have been running Starbucks today. It might have lost its will to live. Yeah, maybe it's mad. Maybe it's like, we don't want to be running this crap, and why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this? So yeah, your phone might actually just be rebelling against that. That was a good one. One thing I do want to talk about on Mingle Cash, and I didn't talk about this last week because there was so much going on, and I try to give you guys information, but I also don't want to overload you and give you too much information at once. Mingle Cash has a unique compensation system. I made a video on this. I just haven't uploaded it. I'm going to give you guys just a brief overview. Mingle Cash's application, you can earn from your own earnings and you can earn from your referral earnings. What they have it set up is that it's an either or scenario. So I'm going to talk about your main account now, and there's a reason why I'm talking about main account. So just try to follow me, and if anything doesn't make sense, I will re-explain it and explain it in different ways as well. So let's say you have an account and you start referring people, and once your referrals start making more than you do, you start earning either your personal earnings or your referrals. So what is recommended, and this is not just recommended for me, this is actually recommended from the owner, the CEO of Mingle Cash, is to actually set up two accounts, one for referring and one for phone farming. So that way you get the best of both, and you can sign up for multiple accounts in your household. You're not going to get in trouble. This is recommended. So that way, if you are somebody that wants to refer, you can refer. And if you are somebody that wants to put multiple devices on this application, you can do that as well. You just need to do it on two separate accounts. Like I have my main account, and that is my referring account. And then I have my phone farming account, which is a separate account. It's just a matter of creating a separate account, and they're okay. They're okay with this. This is not breaking any rules, so don't worry about it. You can do it. You can sign up for another account. They actually recommended that that's what people do if they're in that situation. Just wanted to give you guys that information just because it can be a little bit confusing. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. If it didn't make sense, please let me know and I'll explain it in a different way. Because sometimes I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. So I would say that if you want to just make sure that even if you are doing two accounts and you're referring on one and you are phone farming on the other, that you make sure that your referring account is active, which means that it's viewed 50 ads in that day, because that's what you need for to earn from your referrals. I have talked to the owner about this requirement. I personally don't like it. It's not a deal breaker to me. It's not really that big of a deal. I personally don't like that requirement for people. I think it's counterproductive myself. If you guys agree with that opinion, please let me know, and I will share that, I'm not the only one that thinks this, that it's kind of stupid that you have to be active to earn from your referrals, especially with all the other things that are going on. So if you don't like that particular policy, just let me know and I'll let the owner know. I'm not saying that we're going to change it per se, but he is very flexible and he likes hearing feedback from people. And I'll tell you guys a quick story here. The main video on Mingle Cash, I've always not liked it. I think it's terrible. I think it does the company a disservice. It's one of those it's sort of super hyped up video with these, obviously actresses / models that are doing it. I don't like this this main video. And I was talking about Mingle Cash to another group. It was actually to people in the Vitae community, and they gave a lot of negative feedback on that video, basically saying my opinions, only saying them a little a little more harshly. And so I contacted Andrew and I said, hey, I'm getting some feedback on this main video. This is what they're not liking about it. this is why they're not liking it. I actually agree with their opinions. This is the feedback I'm getting. And I was actually a little bit afraid that he was going to get mad. And not only did he not get mad about it, but they're working on a new video that eliminates that stuff. It eliminates the crap of the overhyped video that's on there now. So they're working on a new one that is fresh and that is more relevant and less just like less clickbaity. I don't know if that's a word. It is now because I just used it. So they are open to, to the opinions from people. And he thanked me. He's like, thank you for, for bringing this to my attention and for giving me, the honest opinion from the feedback from people. And it's caused changes to happen. They're working on a new fresh video for that main page. So in case you guys share the same opinion as I do, I just personally think that video does a disservice to the company because it kind of looks like it's a bunch of BS, which was not the intention. The intention was to grab attention and to get people to be interested in things like that. And but they're adjusting it and they're working on it and they're making a new video that I've already seen some of the preliminary script for it, and I like it. It's more real, it's more down to earth, it's more, this is how it works kind of a thing. So please don't be afraid to share your opinions, your honest opinions. Try to keep criticism, constructive, because obviously if people are giving me feedback that has a lot of expletives and things like that, I'm not going to take them seriously. But if you're saying, hey, can you talk about this? And it may start a change, it may not, but they are listening to people and they will make certain changes if that is something that they feel is good for the member base. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm just going to read some questions. Instant gratification. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read and broadcast everything. Donald, if you want to just, I don't know, talk a little for a second. If you have any comments or anything while I read over these questions.
Okay, I don't know what you specifically want me to talk about, but I will sit here and run my mouth until you jump back in or I see something. Let's see. If I was also going through there and trying to answer the questions in chat. Yeah, I agree. The video is kind of cheesy with the good-looking girls trying to overhype up, or at least what it sounds to me, overhype it up. But yeah, that's not their intent. As far as the ads, I can't tell you what type of ads I see because usually I just run these apps and walk away from the device. Like, I don't know what's running on my phone farm right now. Right now on my phone farm, though, I've got a lot of U rewards going on. U rewards have been doing good for me, at least where I'm located. Pulled out like $6 or $7 off the U rewards, threw it up there to use that money to promote the team build and Coinpressions, which we will address here shortly.
Okay, thank you, Donald.
All right.
No, and thank you for that feedback too, not just for filling the sort of dead air. It is twins, actually, Edward. I'm gonna kind of quote crypto FOMO, the quote unquote porn twins. No, no, it is twins. It is twin women. They're not wearing wigs. They're just, that's what they do. They do marketing videos. They're actresses and models, and I don't know what other kind of videos they do. I haven't looked. Not really that interested. But yeah, that's they are twins. So it's not like one person with a wig, but it does kind of look like. I do see that. It does kind of look like that. Yeah. One other thing I do want to talk about the Mingle Cash, and I did bring this up, and the owners brought it up, and everybody's brought it up, is that Mingle Cash cannot give you accurate data about what you're earning. And it's a catch-22 because when they don't show anything, people complain and people start freaking out. I'm not earning anything. And when they show estimates, people complain because those estimates aren't accurate. There's really, I don't know if there's really even, there might be some kind of a middle ground or something. I'm not really sure. Maybe they can add another section to the, the visualization part to kind of give you, that says like estimated income. But it can be frustrating because that number will fluctuate. Sometimes it fluctuates in your favor, there's been times where I've woken up in the morning and found that my earnings went up from the estimate, and sometimes the estimate is inaccurate, that's not in your favor, and so the earnings go down. This is frustrating, and I understand that, guys. My best advice to you guys is to just not pay attention to that for the full 72 hours. And I know that's different from what other companies do. And I know, and I get it. Like, trust me, I would love to see things in real time. But what you don't understand is that they're running ads on a network that's basically a bidding process. So this is just an example, and I'm not telling you that this is not official figures, but just say that one advertiser on this network, or on this, essentially this collective of networks, let's say their CPM rate is $7 in the United States. That's company number one. Now, there's also company number two who comes in, and their CPM rate is something ridiculously low, like 50 cents CPM in the United States. Both of these things are possible. Now, if and it's kind of randomly selected too, and they are doing things where they are starting to put to not allow advertisers that have super low rates. However, that means less ads are shown. So if you average these two companies, it's like what, like $3.50 or $3.75 or something like that. They can't give you an accurate estimate, because what if you're lucky and you're seeing all of the advertisements that you're seeing, for whatever reason, are from person number one, and all of the advertisements that your best friend is seeing is from person number two, who's earning a much less of a rate. Like, it's really hard to determine a rate when the averages, when they can fluctuate so much. And also we don't have the full CPM rates yet, because it hasn't been around for that long. So the rates are expected to go up in general. It's hard to get an average, guys, basically, because it's a big cluster marketplace. We'll call it that. I gotta watch my language a little. So it's very hard to determine what the estimates are based on the data like that that's always fluctuating. And if they don't give you any kind of an estimate, people will freak out, and they'll be flooded with support tickets, even though it says right on the website, please wait 72 hours, and it says like multiple places on the website. They'll get flooded with support tickets saying, my app's not working, I'm not getting any earnings. But if they give you estimates and your estimates are wrong, that is not in your favor, then you get kind of upset, because it looks like your earnings are being taken away from you. It's just, there's got to be a happy medium somewhere, and I'm sure they're probably going to be working on something like that. But it's just, it's definitely, it's frustrating, and I hear you, and I would love to see that data in real time, but they don't even get that data for a minimum of 24 hours until after it happens. So they can't give you that, like they don't get it. Like the advertising company does not give them that accurate information. They don't release that data for that period of time. So there's no way that they can give you real-time stats, because they're not receiving real-time stats. I hope that explained it. I really hope that explained it well enough. I kind of feel like I went a little bit on a tangent there, but it's it's like, we get it. And I will talk to Andrew to see if maybe there is some kind of a happy medium or something. Maybe maybe it would be better to just say, we're not going to even give you a figure until we get the final numbers of that data. Maybe that will be better overall. I don't know. But then you don't see the instant gratification of seeing anything happening. So there's just, there's so many factors in this, guys, and they want to give you accurate, they want to give you accurate information. But they're working within the constraints of what they have. They can't give you data they don't have. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Yeah, earnings will fluctuate. So I literally just don't look at the earnings. Like, I won't even, like, anything that's recent within the past couple of days, my brain, I've turned that off in my brain. I've been able to like compartmentalize that and just not even look at it, because I know that, you know, those numbers will go up or down, and there's no way of predicting which way they're going to go. Hi, Cindy. It's great to see you. Cluster yuck. Yes, I like that, Cindy. I think I'll use that a little bit more. Just looking over some comments real quick. Donald, did any of that not make any sense, or if anybody has any questions about that, you know, I'm trying.
Well, you did as good a job as you could, considering, you know, just how complicated it really is. I mean, you figure we've got, you know, there's probably hundreds of people running the app. They've got hundreds of advertisers trying to throw in their bids, and there's this big complicated system of keeping track of all that. And then at the same time, they're trying to keep us, the consumer, happy, and we just have to. They have to find that happy medium, because, like you said, they actually don't get the data that should be there for at least 24 hours, and then of course they need the time to reflect that into our accounts, which is why you see all over the website it may take up to 72 hours for your earnings to show. I know for a period of time there, I had referrals come in. The website was telling me they were active, but my earnings weren't moving. And then 3 or 4 days later, all of a sudden it jumped up, and I said, okay, they finally caught on to everything that happened, you know, 2, 3, and 4 days ago has finally been calculated and thrown in the back of my website. So yeah, given the circumstances, you did a pretty good job trying to simplify what is really a very complicated computer mess.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Very complicated computer mess. And, you know, don't necessarily quote me on this, but they usually post something within 24 hours that's relatively accurate, usually. So, you know, from, you know, say my earnings from yesterday, they'll probably post something at around 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is midnight UTC. And that number is usually pretty accurate, but, you know, that's not 72 hours, it's only 24. Just, you know, it's, you know, what do you guys want? Would you guys rather not see any earnings at all and then wait that full 72 hours for all that data to be finalized? Or do you want to see an estimate of your earnings like what is going on right now? And that number can either go in your favor or against your favor, depending on what the actual number is. I'd actually legitimately like to know that. So if you guys want to comment that, or if you're watching this on a replay, comment on the video and let me know which you would rather see. Would you rather see nothing, or would you rather see an estimate? And of course, I'll pass that information along as well. And make sure you guys, I don't know if anybody's coming in on this, make sure you're running the most current version of the application. That is one of the most important things to do, is to update the app, because like I said, they've done like 10 updates between like Friday and today. So make sure you're running the most recent version of the app, and then try it again. You know, I had some issues over the weekend with some of my devices. I wasn't getting ads. Some of them were crapping out. They're moving new servers, so like I wasn't connecting. I was having issues too. So I just waited, you know, I waited it out. I kept some devices on, and today, and for the past 24 hours, it seems to have run pretty smoothly for me. And from my perspective, you know, it's running no better or worse. Definitely not running any worse than the other video applications that I run as well. Just wanted to give you guys that feedback. That's from my personal experience. But they've between, you know, Friday and now, they've done so many updates and so many improvements to the app to make it run more efficiently. So they're working on things, guys, and they know that there's still issues. You know, they're willing to work out these issues, and you know, it's you know, try to be patient if you can. You can see that the ads are being counted. You can see that, Wibble. But what was happening is, like, the first day that it came out, you were seeing that number, or I call it the Android number. It's really the ad count number that is above the Android in the back office. That number was going up, and then the earnings number beside it was like 0.0001 or something like that. That was just a spacer to count it. So it was basically not really showing you any data, that freaked people out. People were freaking out. They were saying, this thing doesn't pay anything. You know, we're not making any money. Even though that ad count was still going up, it was still freaking people out. So it might be a matter of maybe they need to change, you know, the visualization in the back office, maybe to only show that and to maybe not show any of that other data, to show that, yes, you are seeing ads and those ads will be credited, you know, within 72 hours. Maybe that will help. You know, it really depends on the person and people's different perspectives. But I mean, I was getting a lot of, and guys, like, I'm just a member. I'm not an employee of this company. I'm not paid any extra money to talk about them. I'm not, you know, I get a ton of questions from a ton of members, and people were freaking out that their earnings were, you know, basically not showing, even though the Android number was going out. That wasn't enough for them either. So I don't know what the answer to this is, guys, and this is, you know, this is a good, I like having this conversation, and I'm going to write down your feedback in these comments. And like I said, if you're not watching this live, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll pass that information along. Maybe we can try to get some sort of a happy medium so that people, you know, can, I don't know, people can less freak out, I guess. And it's frustrating. I get it, guys. So trust me, I know it's frustrating when things are not showing up in real time, and when things show as one thing and then they end up being another. But, you know, I can say for a fact that it's happened in my favor, where I've woken up with more money than I had before. And it's also happened not in my favor, where I've woken up with a little bit less. I really don't care in the long term, because I know in my brain, it's like, I know that this, even when I'm looking at this number, my brain is already, I programmed it in my head that this is not the accurate number, and to wait a couple of days to get the accurate number. And I can also tell you guys that this company does pay out. I received a payout on Sunday. So that's good as well. And my uplines received, I don't know, like 5 or 6 payouts or something like that at this point. I think it's 6. And I'm a new member. You know, I haven't really been promoting it or even using it. I wasn't even using the applications until I started testing the passive one, because I wasn't going to use the other one because it was too much of a pain in the butt. I'm just reading comments, guys, so please excuse the dead air. Personally, I like to see what the ads are being counted. Yeah, okay, read that one. Did they do another update today? The latest version is like, what is it, it's like 0.1 or 0.11, I think. They did an update yesterday. They did an update. I'm still thinking in time zones, because the developers are in a totally different time zone, actually in different days. Like, it's like when it's 11 p.m. for me, it's like morning time for them. Yesterday morning, I noticed that they did an update. And today, just for the fun of it, or just because I just felt like it, what I did is I uninstalled it and I reinstalled it with the fresh app, just to make sure that I had the current version. There's probably going to be another update soon, because they are working on something else that obviously when it's released, there'll be another update. So just make sure, you know, check it in the Play Store, and the Play Store will tell you whether or not you have the current version, because it will say either update or it will just say open. So, you know, you can always check it that way. But they did, you know, they updated it yesterday. I don't know what time you're in either, what time zone you're in either. I don't even know what time zone I'm in half the time, because I'm just like coordinating things with people from all over. Okay, Whipple, earnings drop. Yeah, and they will, you know, earnings will drop. They'll go up and down. Cindy, yeah, Cindy, if you're running on AdSense Media, it is going to be accurate, because AdSense Media has a set rate, so that is going to be accurate. You know, they only pay out X amount, and that's what they pay out. You know, that's just what they pay out. It's just X amount per view. So AdSense Media earnings are going to be more accurate, because they have that data, so they can share it with you. because they have it. Yeah, and so I totally agree. I'd say give it a month, guys, for the app. After that, if it's still low, well, well, I'd say drop it, but I'm gonna give it a month. Yeah, I would just say just don't. I just explained the estimates thing. Don't pay attention to the estimates at all. It's just the easiest way to do. Is to just not not pay attention to the estimates. I mean, if they want to, or I mean, what I would do is I would estimate it at super low, and then have people. It's always going to be higher that way. That's what I would personally do. But then people are going to get mad at that too because they're going to think that they're not earning enough. Like this is the issue. But I agree. Give it a month, and and maybe it's a situation where maybe there is no real happy medium. Maybe you just don't like it. Maybe you don't like, and that's fine. Like this is not a judgment. Like maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you need something where you can get real time data, and if they're not able to provide this for you, maybe this just isn't for you. And again, I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying anything against you personally. This is a general, this is a general thought. I'm not targeting any specific person, but and that happens to me sometimes. There's a lot of things that people bring to me, and there's things that I consider to be deal breakers that somebody else might not consider to be a deal breaker. And if something, even if it's a great company, if it's a great platform, if it's something that I'm not comfortable with for whatever reason, if I don't like it, and if it's a deal breaker for me, I won't join it. It doesn't mean that the company's bad. It just means that it's not for me. So that's another thing that you guys want to think about as well. And give it some time. They're still working on updates, and they're always, they are trying to make this to be really good for everybody. So please just give them a little bit of time. We should see revenue every 72 hours. Yeah, but it will probably discourage. Yeah, probably discourage new people. That's the only bad thing. Yeah, that's true. Because it's the instant gratification thing. And I agree. I would rather them just, like I said, I don't personally care, but I would rather for the whole of everyone, the whole of the membership, that they just don't post that. But if people don't see anything, then it can be discouraging as well. Wibble comments, who says, it takes 72 hours to update earnings, but pays more than the other apps. I know which app I'll use. Yeah, fair enough. And I agree with that statement. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that statement. And also, please keep in mind, the owner did go over this as well on a hangout on the eCash Society channel. He went over that, it's even especially more hard to estimate the CPM rates because they're being adjusted right now. It's still considered a new application. As more people use it, that average number will go up. And like I said, they are working on eliminating the super low baller advertisers, so that in itself will also help with that, because then they might be able to get more accurate information. So they are listening, guys. They are trying to make some changes. I would say just be patient. And if you find that this is just not, if you try it for after a month and it's just not your thing, that's fine too. Don't do something that's going to stress you out, because I know that everybody's wired differently. So if this is something that's really going to stress you out, or if it's causing you, emotional distress, and I don't mean that in a super dramatic way, but if it actually is causing you to hurt emotionally, or to feel things like disappointment and things like that when the earnings end up being lower than what the estimate is, that's something that you might want to consider as well. Again, to each their own. But we are working on improving some of these things, guys. All right, Donald, do you want to transition into something else? And we'll still take more questions. We're actually going to talk about Coinpressions2 for a little bit here, guys, but we will still take questions on Mingle Cash. So if you have any questions, please still feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get to them. But Donald, did you want to start talking about Coinpressions2 for a little bit?
All right. Well, actually, before I transition into Coinpressions2, I want to go back to one thing about Mingle Cash that hasn't been mentioned yet, but you might want to take a look at. If you go into your Mingle Cash account, let me go see if I can find it on my computer here. I was just there. If you go under Help, right underneath Help, there is a list of referral tips. You can go through those and use these things to market your Mingle Cash account. Not only can you use these to promote your Mingle Cash account, you can use these same techniques to promote anything else you want, aka the Coinpressions2 Team Build might be a good suggestion. But they have a whole list about, all kinds of things about marketing. You may also be getting emails. I didn't even know this was back here until I noticed I was getting a few daily emails from Andrew, and each day he was going through all the lists of ways you could promote. And if you look back there, matter of fact, for a quick moment, I will hit the screen share button. Everybody see my back office here where it says referral tips?
Yes.
There is a whole plethora of things you can do to advertise Mingle Cash and pretty much anything else that you want to advertise. As a matter of fact, let's see, these number 22 paid to click sites. A couple weeks back, I was showing everybody my little system about using the free faucets and use that money to buy the ad packs at Scarlet Clicks and at Optimal Bucks to promote, each other and to promote Coinpressions and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I read through it. He gives you a whole list of paid to click sites. You just come right here, boom. A lot of these sites are free. You can go through these and start promoting your Mingle Cash, your Coinpressions, your Faucets, or whatever else you may be into. Like Justine said, there are certain things that people like and certain things that, other people don't like. There are plenty of programs that Justine is in that I'm not. And there's plenty of programs that I'm involved in that Justine's not. Doesn't mean Justine's wrong for not joining my company over here, or I'm wrong for not jumping on her company over there. That's her ball of wax over there. That's my ball of wax over there. And sometimes our balls of wax happen to mix and we agree on certain things. Coinpressions2 being one of them. As for Coinpressions itself, both me and Justine have noticed since the owner has initiated the company will pay your way in on the first level, we've starting to see a little activity back there. People are actually now promoting it and are beginning to see the vision that the company owner has. Get somebody in your first level, they'll get a free position. You help them get their referrals, teach them to do something, they'll get referrals. And you can actually grow this pretty fast if you push it real hard. Wouldn't you agree with that, Justine?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to talk a little bit of the Coinpressions2 team as well as the little team build and what I'm doing for my team members. I'm just going to explain it to you guys really quickly. If you guys don't know what Coinpressions2 is, there's a link below. You can click it and just get information. You don't have to sign up for it or anything, but they're giving you, like, the owner is paying for everybody to get basically a free entry. And you get advertising with Coinpressions2, which I actually like their advertising, especially if you're into anything like Bitcoin, like coin faucets or anything like that. Advertising is great for that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing with my team is I'm taking 2 of my personal referrals. I've already talked to them. These are people that I work with closely. These are people that are actually working. And, these are people that I started with them for a reason, because these are people that I already have an existing relationship with. And what I'm doing is I'm taking 2 people from my team, and I am also taking 2 people from their team. So I actually asked them for, send me the links of people in your team that are either active or, whatever. Just send me the links of 2 people that you want me to help out. So I took those first 2 people, and then I took 2 people from their team. And what I'm doing is I'm purchasing advertising for everybody. That advertising should start on Friday or Saturday. I don't have an exact date yet. But basically what I'm doing is I'm buying advertising so that those people can all get, the free signups. I'm building it that way strategically for a few different reasons, and I'll give you guys the exact information of what I'm doing after I do it, because I want to test it out first. I don't want to say, hey, do this, and then have it not be effective. Like, I don't care. I'll pay for the advertising. I like to experiment with advertising anyway. But that's what I'm personally doing, and then I can show you guys exactly what I did, especially if it's something that is successful. I will share with you the exact thing of what I did and show you guys exactly, what the results are from that, because I definitely want to take advantage of this. The company giving away free positions is just, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer to get people. You don't have to pay anything. You can just kind of basically do like a free pre-build or a free tour. Some companies call it a free tour or whatever. Definitely very cool stuff, and I'm pretty excited about this because I really want to help these two people, because they're people that, like I said, they're people that work, and people that try and put in effort, and this is going to be super exciting. Donald, did you have anything else you wanted to say on that?
Oh, there we go. I was muted there for a second. Actually, I'm waiting to see the results too, because I might try the same thing. Because you know me, I'm all about advertising. I'm all about getting referrals. I'm one of those people that hate clicking ads. Even though I'm clicking ads on Scarlet Clicks and Optimal Buck, that's just to build the ad packs up. As far as the faucets are concerned, I rarely go in there and collect faucet money, but my CoinPot account keeps growing because I have tons of referrals that, over time I've built. So for me, getting referrals is the name of the game in any of these online businesses. Just look at them. If you just take Mingle Cash and figure if you had 100 active referrals, how much money will you earn way faster than just you doing it by yourself? So I'm all about getting referrals. So I'd like to see if your little test works, because that sounds like an interesting experiment.
It is. I like doing these experiments, even if they, and I also try to distance myself from expectations, and this is definitely a more of a I guess a mindset technique than marketing strategy, of course. But I like doing experiments. I like trying different things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. Because if this works, obviously, if this works, it's going to be really great. If it doesn't work, then I know that it doesn't work, and I can adjust and I can try something else. So I try to distance myself from any expectations of anything, especially anything experimental. And that kind of, it essentially kind of protects me from being, disappointed. Like, if it doesn't work, it's like, okay, it doesn't work. That's fine.
Yeah,
no,
since
it doesn't, it's,
I mean,
it's fine.
technically, it's not really costing you any money out of pocket, because I know you, like me, you're using your phone farm money, your faucet money,
Yes,
and all the other little.
exactly.
Exactly. That's exactly how I'm building my little, I call it, stacking Bitcoin system right now. I haven't come up with a real name for it yet, but sooner or later I will. I'm also going to try to find a way to simplify it, maybe just knock it down to a few websites so most people can get a grasp on that. But yeah, Coinpressions2, we actually did an interview with the owner. I'm sure if you look on our respective channels, you can find that interview. Now that he's initiated the free position for everybody, we might have to go back there, Justine, and set up another interview with this guy.
Yes, I think
Yes.
that's actually that's on my list. I like you guys all know, like, I've been busy with the Mingle Cash thing, and also the implementation of the Vitae token in Mingle Cash, and I've been super busy and focused on that. But I agree. I think we should definitely have him back on here. And he said that anytime, like, he's like, sure, just schedule it. Like, I'll come back on your show. So then you can hear it from him directly, and we can pre-screen questions and things of that nature. But Donald's right. Like, I'm technically, yes, I'm spending money, but I'm spending money that I got for free. So I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care if it doesn't work. Like, it's not a big deal. It's fine.
Yeah, I've yet to put any phone farm money in my pocket. My phone farm money is like, a dedicated ad fund. I figure or if I need to, buy a position in Coinpressions2, because a lot of times I'll go back there in Coinpressions2 and see, oh, look, if I was to just get one more person at $8 position, I'll cycle. So I'll look at someone and say, oh, this guy's active in my team. I'll be nice. And like, okay, that Cindy's on my team. If I see Cindy's active and she needs a $4 position, I'll buy her a $4 position. I'll cycle. I'll get myself an $8 position. When I see that perfect line up there, I mean, that's like giving myself free money. And then I use that advertising to promote whatever else I want to promote. You know, I can go back and use the Coinpressions money to promote my faucets or promote my little crazy stacking Bitcoin system. So, I
Or
mean, there's
Mingle Cash or whatever.
or Mingle
Yeah.
Cat, whatever's floating my boat that week. You know, I can, and then of course I can use the money I pull out of Coinpressions, which I recently did, to promote. You know, go back and use that money elsewhere to promote the Coinpressions team build. So either way, it's a win-win situation. You'll either get referrals or you'll learn, oh, that don't work, try something else. And like I said, the back of Mingle Cash, you got all those things that, you know, basically there's a complete education system on how to advertise online. Pick something that works for you and focus on it. One of the millionaires I follow, I was talking to Justine about that. He uses something similar that, you know, that crazy Bitcoin system I got. He uses his own little thing. He's got 3 or 4 different, completely different websites. One he uses for advertising, one he uses for building a list, and one he uses for actually money he'll put in his pocket. And he started out poor. And I'm like, okay, I can relate to this guy. So I follow him. And when one of his businesses falls out, well, he just substitutes it with another business. It's no biggie for him. Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing with my stacking Bitcoin. If a particular business don't work, I'll remove it and replace it with something else. So that's one thing you also might want to consider. All right, I'll send it back to you, Justine.
Yeah, and just a little comment. I actually bought pizza and beer with some of my phone farming money last week.
Oh, pizza and beer, and you didn't invite me. Oh,
Yeah, well, it was these like pre-made margarita things, but it's close enough to beer. Yeah, so I, I do spend it on fun stuff as well. And I also bought another phone. I bought another phone for this week that I'm going to test out, and I think it's the same one that Sigma bought as well, the ZTE $10 refurbished thing from TrackPhone. I think you bought that one too. I don't know. Maybe it was somebody else. Anyway, I'm gonna test that baby out, and if it works well, I'm gonna be buying a lot more of those things because that's a pretty good deal. And that's all with my phone farming cash as well, because the more phones I have, the more pizza and beer I can consume. So there's my motivation. If you guys have any more questions, and I did hear you guys, especially about the estimate thing. That is something that I will bring up with Andrew the next time I talk to him. I'm just a member like you guys, like I've said, but I do talk to him a lot because I was sort of the negotiator between him and the Vitae token team. So he asks me a lot of questions on a daily basis about not only about the Mingle Cash and the application, but also about, like things about the video, like he's having me review the script and, all kinds of stuff. So I talk to him a lot. So I will definitely give him the feedback that I'm getting from you guys. And who knows, maybe they can figure something out that will be a good little middle ground, because they do, the goal is to help everyone and to help everybody be successful with this. And if you guys have any questions, especially about Mingle Cash, please connect with your customer service rep. They have all of those tools and trainings that you receive on the autoresponder and in the back office, but they can also, they can help you. They can help you as well. That's literally their job. They're literally paid to help you. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. And again, guys, if you please comment on the videos. If you haven't commented live, let me know about the what you think about the estimates on the Mingle Cash thing, because I will be giving that feedback. And what they decide to do with the feedback is totally out of my control. But I do know that they do want to listen to members, and they do want to make this to be a good experience for everyone. I would just give them a little time. Give them a little time to work out a few more bugs and things of that nature. And Cindy, the iOS is coming very soon. Very soon. I think that they just wanted to make sure they did the final tweaks to the Android. Now, exactly what the iOS application is, it's a little. I'm not sure if it's going to be a similar app to the Android app, or if it's going to be a different application. I do know that they already have an application that has been approved for For iOS, that's different than the passive video, but it will still be passive. Whatever it is, it's still going to be passive. But I'm sure as soon as all these little kinks are worked out with the Android, iOS is next on the list of priorities. And just to get an application approved at Apple is actually a pretty that's a pretty big thing. It's a pain in the butt to do. So they already have an application, so they're probably going to work with that existing one. But as soon as Cindy, you do have an Amazon Fire Kindle thing or whatever, right? The Amazon Android app. I think you do. Okay, Crypto, I heard you. I have automatically, just as a spam filter, your comment did not show. However, I received the information. I received your email address, and I will be in touch with you. It's just that I have to block out stuff. Otherwise, I get so much spam on this channel. But I heard you. Cindy, if you have I think you have an Android device. I think it's a Kindle Fire or something, whatever. Yes, you can do what's called side loading. I have a copy of the APK file. Basically it's the file, which if you set into your permissions on your Kindle, I think if they're Kindles, you have one of those things. You know what I'm talking about. If you set in permissions to allow applications from other sources, I can actually give you a copy of the APK file, and it should work. I can't 100% guarantee because side loading can be a little tricky, but let me make sure that I have the most current version of the APK file, and I can send it to you, and you might be able to try it out. And actually, that would be great if you did try it out to experiment with it to see if it works well when it's put on that way. So I might be able to help you put it on. Okay, you've done that. Okay, so I'll get the most current APK version of the file, and I'll send it to you, Cindy, and then you can try it and see if it works on. And that would be great to know, actually, because I haven't. Actually, I think we have one here. I might be able to experiment with that myself. But it should run on tablet, so you should be good. Okay, guys. If there are any other questions, I'm going to make sure that I copy this email address because it's going to disappear. Yeah, so Crypto, I'll get in touch with you and answer that, and we'll talk to you about. And Donald, this actually might be a contact. Can I? Yeah, I'll share your email with Donald, and I'll do like a little group message. Because I don't know if you saw this, Donald. You might because you're a moderator. He basically was asking, he or she was asking about stacking the crypto and stuff like that. So definitely interested in that thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. So you have the email address as well, so we can contact you, and we can help you out, and hopefully help you out and get that all done. Oh, you want to try the APK file as well? Okay. Yeah, you can. I just got to make sure that I have the most recent version of it, because that was still in like beta testing when I got the APK. I think that was before. Yeah. So anyway, I'll get the most recent APK file, and then I will try to get it to people, so you guys can try side loading. So there you go. Oh, you've run and Cindy said she's run the Android app. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, guys, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll try to answer any questions if you leave them as comments. Please don't leave any customer service related questions though, because I don't know. Like, I don't know information about you guys' personal accounts because I'm just a member, just like you guys. So thank you very much, and we will hopefully see you in the next. Oh no, it's fine. Questions are welcome, and your questions are legitimate, and they're good questions, and I like them. So keep them up. It's fine. And I talk to people all the time that are not even connected to me at all. Like, they're not even my referrals, and I'm in different chat rooms and things. People that have questions. Generally speaking, if I have an answer to a question, I try to be helpful. Obviously, I can't help every single person because I'm only one person, and I'm only one person, and I don't have a lot of energy because I have some stuff going on. But yeah, questions are great, and your questions are totally legitimate. So please continue to ask questions, especially the types of questions that you are asking, because they're good. And I appreciate it. Thank you for signing up. Definitely appreciate it. And please, guys, please, just this is a general statement. Please understand that if it doesn't matter who your referrer is. Please understand that they're just a member, just like you. And give them a little time to, to answer your questions if you run into that issue. I do run into some people just kind of expect us to just know everything all the time and just be able to, reply as quickly as we can. But that's why Mingle Cash has their own personal customer service rep for any questions, and especially account questions. You want to ask them, because I don't know what's going on with your account. I don't know how to reset your password. I don't know what your password is because I'm not an employee. One more question. Okay. Go ahead, Crypto. Before we close out, post your question, and I'll take note of it. Hey, Anna, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Just waiting on Crypto to... Actually, I don't know if you can. If I stop the broadcast, I don't think you can still comment. So we're just waiting for that question. Low data setting. Is that because you're low bandwidth for your internet connection? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the low data setting. I've never actually tested it on Perk TV, the low data setting. But I'll put that right. Actually, I'll just message the developer. One of the tech persons. I could just say guy because he's a guy. One of the tech guys is on vacation right now, but there is another person that is available, and obviously I can talk to Andrew as well. But low data setting, I will ask them if that is something that they would consider adding to the app. That is a great question, and I'm writing it down as we speak. So wonderful. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and please, if you found this useful, give it a like. I do have a troll that's like disliking everything that I upload because, I don't know, apparently they don't understand that disliking stuff can be kind of good. But I do have of course I have a troll. I probably have a few of them. So I don't care, guys. I don't care, trolls. I care about the good people, the people that are like legit and that are here for, for good reasons. I really don't give a crap about trolls. So don't feed the trolls. Let them starve.
We like the trolls. I mean, they can dislike our videos all day long. That just gives us more exposure.
Yeah, I mean, you guys. I'm just like. I'm just going to educate you trolls, like they even give a crap about it. They usually don't. But when you dislike a video, it can actually show up in your feed on your channel that you disliked the video. And then guess what? People like stuff that sucks. Like if it's like, so-and-so disliked this video, what are they going to do? They're going to click on the video. So thank you for disliking my videos because you're just giving me more traffic. Obviously, I prefer likes, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. I give 0 F's about that. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I will definitely be putting these questions and issues into, giving them to the appropriate people. Thanks very much, and we will see you in the next broadcast, hopefully, or I'll see you on whatever messaging apps and all kinds of other stuff that I'm available online. Bye, guys.
All right, guys, have a good weekend.